Today on the Comic Book Show, Martin Odell, George Evans, and Bossmaster.
Welcome to the Comic Book Show, the biggest TV show about comics. Your central authority for cartoons, comic books, and collectibles, and other stuff that doesn't begin with C. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tony.
And I'm Nikki.
And this is show number 11. Well, let's take a look at today's Super Tune. A Super Tune is a tune about superheroes or heroic exploits. Today, Botmasters.
It's a beautiful day here at the Boys Invitational Golf Bets. Ladies and gentlemen, bogeys ready to tee up. This great champion takes a couple of practice swings. He addresses the ball. And it's a beautiful drive. Look at the height. Look at the distance. Look at that explosion.
I didn't really like Botmaster cartoon. I did enjoy the 3D effects, but it's pretty much the same as every other American cartoon. It's a bunch of toys shooting at each other.
Tony never likes anything that I like. Please help me. Write in. Stick up for me. No, Botsmaster, don't listen to him. It's a great show. The 3D effect is fantastic. The animation overall looks great. Our hero, ZZ, Ziv Zoolander, one of the best, I think, in... Stop it! He is a good hero, and I like the name, thank you. No, really, Botsmaster is a good show. The characters' personalities are very well developed. It's a fun show to watch. Even though the time slot cheats at 6:30 a.m. in the morning, it is worth either getting up or setting the VCR, taping it. I watch it. I love it. It's one of my favorite shows this season.
I wouldn't get up that early for Batman. Let's rate Botsmaster on the Mighty Meter. The Mighty Meter rates movies and cartoons from 5 to 1. 1 to 5. 5 being mighty good and 1 being Botsmasters. I'm going to give Botsmaster a 1.
Botsmaster is a great, fantastic, wonderful, I can't think of enough positive adjectives to talk about it. It's great. It gets a 5. Mm-hmm. A 5 from me. You hear that, DiGirolamo? A 5.
Shut up. This week in comics, I want to recommend a book. What am I recommending? Oh, yeah, Gru. Gru the Wanderer. I read like every comic. I can't remember them all. Gru the Wanderer is a really good book. It's by Sergio, and I can't pronounce his last name, Argoniz. Is that correct? Not if that's correct, Mike, our flow manager. Sergio has a really great book. It's if you're tired of all these comics where people's heads get ripped off, and you want a nice comic that's just kind of fun, it's sort of like Conan the Barbarian, and it's just sort of a fun book.
I recommend from Marvel Comics, Night Stalkers, especially because Tony doesn't like it. Yes, Night Stalkers is one of Marvel's Midnight Suns titles. Check it out. It's really cool. It's about 3 classic Marvel, creature of the night stalking type guys that go out. You got Hannibal King, Blade, great. Frank Drake relates to Dracula. They go out and go after vampires and all kinds of monsters and stuff that go bump in the night.
But didn't you like Gru? Did you like Gru? You don't like Gru? You don't want to talk about Gru?
I look at Gru and I think of you, okay?
Oh, all right. Excuse me,
okay.
Miss Night Stalker. Okay. Miss Night Stalker, excuse me. The crappy book that is. We want to read a good book, read Bloodshot. Bloodshot is from Valiant Comics. It's about a guy who has nanites in his blood, and she likes that book. And when you cut the camera back to her, she'll just skip over it and go to the next one. But Bloodshot is a really good book. Bloodshot number 0 is out, and it's an origin story with a really neat cover. So pick it up.
No, Bloodshot's a good book, don't get me wrong. Well, at least I thought it was until I found out you read it to me, but... Check out from DC Comics, Catwoman. Yes, the first lady of comics is the greatest comic book woman to date, coming right out of the pages from Batman. You got Joe Duffy writing it. She is one of the greatest comic book writers in the world of all time. Catwoman is fantastic. She's got a new outfit, a new attitude. You must read this book.
Well, it's not that good, but I do recommend Catwoman. It's a pretty good addition, especially if you read all the Batman stuff. In case you missed it, this week I want to recommend Maxime Mortal. It's done by Rich Veitch. I can never pronounce his name. He used to take over Swamp Thing after Alan Moore left, and it's a really twisted version of Superman called True Man, and it's for mature readers only, but it's really good.
If you missed it, scope out your comic book stores and find Batman Two-Face Strikes Twice. I'm a big fan of the Batman Two-Face villain. I think he is very underused and very underrated. It's a good story. It's got Robin. Of course, it's got the man, the Batman, Bruce Wayne. Check it out. Tony had the opportunity to talk to Martin Nodell, the father of the Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott, my favorite Green Lantern. Here's how it went.
All right, we're here with Mark Nodell. He is the man who created Green Lantern, the Green Lantern from the Golden Age. Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing fine and having a ball here in Philadelphia.
Tell us a little bit about how you got started in comics.
That was back in 1938. I'd come from Chicago with an art education, and I had done some theatrical work on stage and backstage, and I was equipped with letters coming into New York where I was going to get into the theater, really. But after that art education was gotten to be known about me in New York, people in the theater said, go to the art area. People in the art area said, go to the theater area. So I looked up the publishers. They'd published one or two books totally. And I did a story for one of them. I was paid, but the publishers closed up shop and went elsewhere. In 1938, there had been a new comic, Superman, and in 39, another one came along, Batman, and I felt as long as they were publishing them every week and every month that I should see these people. So they were looking for a new superhero. On my way home, I felt if they're asking me about a superhero story, they must be asking their other people who come in, and friends of theirs, I'm sure. So I had to hurry. And I saw a train man in the trough of the subway checking tracks. And he was waving a red lantern. Train came along and stopped beyond the station. Well, then when he waved the green lantern, that meant tracks were okay. I thought, green lantern, that sounds like something I could use. So I used that as a storyline and a working title.
Well, when did the first issue of Green Lantern come out?
It was around February, and we worked it over. We also had some help from the editor, and by July, we had the first issue of Green Lantern in All-American 16.
And what year was that?
1940.
Do you think, as a craft, have comic books progressed, or have they deteriorated? Do you think, what do you think of the comparisons are today?
It's difficult to compare what we had done in many years past. The work today, I think, by most artists, is much more sophisticated than the art was when I worked on it.
Mark, can you tell me a little bit about this ring that Carrie's wearing?
Yes, it's a ring that I designed after people were calling my wife Mrs. Green Lantern. But we thought that a ring would be the next thing that she could identify with Green Lantern. And it was made up by a jeweler from my design.
Can any of should the fans be looking out for any new projects? Will you be creating any new creator-owned characters at some of these new companies?
That's entirely possible. I won't necessarily say it'll be new companies, but it probably will be for existing publishers.
Have you called Bill Cole Enterprises yet? Have you? You have not? Well, you better call them.
because they make Mylar Snugs and comic book preservation supplies. Bill Cole Enterprises. These are the same people that supply the Library of Congress and the National Archives. They don't mess around. They keep the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence fresh. Think of what they could do for your comic books. And not just Mylar Snugs. No. Acid-free backing boards, boxes, Mylars for every age of comic book. Everything is color-coded, so you don't get confused. Blue for Silver and Golden Age, black for current comics, and even purple for magazines. And now they have Mylar Snugs for ash cans. Will you listen to me? Ash cans! Bill Cole Enterprises, available at your local comic book store, or send away for their free catalog of preservation supplies. It's free. You just have to write them a letter. Bill Cole Enterprises, P.O. Box 60, Department CD, Randolph, Massachusetts, 023680060. Or to place an order, call 617-986-2653. Bill Cole Enterprises. Ask for them. Ask for them. By name.
DC. Incredible. Action. Astonishing. Adventure. The coolest heroes. The hottest heroines. And the most outrageous villains. Too tough for TV. In the universe.
These ain't your daddy's comic books, fanboy.
The DC Comics.
Available at Marvel Comics in Princeton and New Brunswick. Order a signed copy of Zen Intergalactic Ninja number 0. This best-selling black and white comic is signed by Zen's creator, Steve Stern. Send $14.95 check or money order to All America, 331 North Broad Street, Philadelphia, PA, 19107. This is a limited offer.
Well, starting with issue 48 is the start of the Emerald Twilight series. It's a 3-part series, 48, 49, and 50. And basically, Hal goes off the deep end. He goes to Coast City, which is the aftermath of the Reign of Superman storyline. Goes there, tries to bring back the town. The Guardians show up and say, listen, you are not supposed to use your ring for personal gain. Give us the ring back. And he says, yeah, but what about for personal loss? He said, it doesn't matter. Give us the ring back. And he says, no, I'm not going to give you the ring back. There's a little bit of a scuffle. And he shoots off into space going toward Oa to get more power to bring Coast City back. The Guardians send the entire Green Lantern Corps against him. He virtually defeats the entire Green Lantern Corps. And
who, Hal or Guy?
Hal. Okay. Hal does. And so the Guardians figure, okay, who can we possibly get to stop this guy? Who's been stopping him before? Sinestro. So they bring Sinestro back and give him a Green Lantern ring. 50 starts with Hal and Sinestro going at it unbelievably. Now, mind you, Hal has beaten up all these Green Lanterns, and so they're all floating in space, and he's taken each one of their rings. So Hal has got like 10 rings, one on every finger of his hand, including his own ring. So there's a very cool picture of it. And he and Sinestro just go at it, and it ends with Hal killing Sinestro. Hal is going to go into the battery, and somebody's going to stand in his way, and he's going to have to kill that person as well. I won't say who. And basically, if he steps into the battery, all those Green Lanterns out in the middle of space are going to die.
Will this affect Alan Scott?
It will affect Alan Scott in as much as what we're going to do in 51 and beyond is there's only going to be one Green Lantern. That's it. And it won't be Hal.
This week in the industry news, some of Marvel's greatest superstars are going to get together for one of the biggest Marvel crossovers ever. Spider-Man and Marvel's Mighty Mutants, the X-Men, are joining forces for the Mutant Agenda. This will be the big storyline that will be crossing over with the King's Feature Spider-Man newspaper strip. Altogether, the Mutant Agenda will be 3 issues. It'll be featuring a great storyline about, yes, another bout of yet mutant prejudice and hate. But the leader of this hate gang is going to be the infamous Spider-Man villain, the Hobgoblin. Imagine that. Yes, it's scheduled for release in January, so be on the lookout for it. Also, those of you who are fans of the DC Collectors Bisque set, they just got done putting out Superman, the Man of Steel. Make shelf space because the next Bisque is on its way, and it is Robin. Da-da-da. The Boy Wonder, yes, Robin is the next Bisque. Of course, you gotta be a little bit patient because Robin won't be out until late 94. First glances of Robin could have been caught at the DC booth at Comic Fest 93. And Malibu apologizes because it's official now. Genesis number 0 will be delayed due to flaws in the cover, but they promise as soon as those flaws are taken care of, Genesis number 0 will be made available for you to buy.
Checking the role-playing news, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Tony, what does a role-playing game have to do with comic books? Well, for those uninitiated civilians out there, a role-playing game is basically when you have a group of, say, 4 people. You take 3 of the people, they create their own characters with traits and attributes based on numbers, while the 4th person, the game master, creates the setting and situation for the fictitious characters to interact. What does this have to do with comic books? Well, there are several role-playing games on the market based after superheroes. 2 of the more generic games are Villains and Vigilantes, which is a nice, kind of simple game, good for beginners, and the Champions role-playing game, which is a little more complicated, but it's really good. Marvel Comics has a game based after its characters that is published by the gaming company TSR, which also publishes Dragon Magazine. Each month in the Dragon Magazine, they have a section with gaming tips for the Marvel role-playing game. Mayfair Games publishes the DC Superheroes game. The 3rd edition rules came out a few months ago, and DC has a regular newsletter with updated information for the game. But the newest game is from AC Comics, the publishers of FemForce. Their role-playing game is called Super Babes and will be out in time for Christmas. And while we're on the topic, let's do a brief role-playing review. The fine people at the Game Lords sent us their new game. It's called Metascape. It comes in a beautiful box set. Ah, wonderful, beautiful, with plenty of rule books and metal figures. Unfortunately, you want to set aside about 2 months to read the rules because they're really complicated and really long, and it's a completely alien setting.
Metascape wasn't the worst role-playing game that I ever played. It just seemed to move a little slow, kind of on the tortoise level.
Yeah, it's definitely another game you can play in, say, just an evening. It takes too long to make the characters. Let's rate this game on the Mighty Meter. I'm going to give Metascape, I give it a 2. I'm going to give it a 2.5. It wasn't that bad. Nikki went down to the comic shop a few months ago to interview the legendary George Evans, artist for the legendary EC Comics. Here's the report.
So when did you start drawing?
When? You don't want to go back that far. I started when I was about 4 years old because I had a bad ear infection and couldn't go out in the cold weather. And there were no radios. This was back in the dark ages. There were no radios, television, nothing. You had to use yourself.
What artist influenced you early in your career?
The old, naturally, the comic people in the newspapers. You know, Roy Crane, Captain Easy, Wash Tubbs, Boots and her buddies. Again, ancient history stuff.
What motivated you to do the aviation art pieces?
I got hooked on aviation when Lindbergh flew the Atlantic, and I was going to be an aviator myself. Well, it's a more complicated story than that, because with the ear problem, I had it from the time I was 4 to about the time I was 12 when they put me in the hospital and operated on it, and they had my skull opened up, and I had to sit there, everything just, my head braced. But I could look out the window, and there was an airport nearby, and there were those old biplanes stunting, and, you know, what could be better?
What was it like working with EC Comics back in the early days?
EC was one of the best outfits there was. Bill Gaines was one of the nicest, most honest people that ever came into the comics business. And my good friend Al Williamson acted as an agent and took me around to talk to them up there. And they gave me a script, and I went to work for them. And every day, every visit to the place was a pleasure, because they were that kind of people. When it finally did fold, they did all this reprint work. We had signed checks, which was a quit claim on everything, but just the same, when they began to reissue the stuff that you see now, good old Bill shared all the loot with the rest of us, so that about every Christmas we would get a check from Bill Gaines.
What do you think of comic books and the comic book industry today compared to the early years?
They sure pay better, and they have a lot more opportunity to do a bigger variety of work. For the general comic books, I'm astonished at the prices they get. And the scanty number of pages they get for what they pay. But I have a grandson who is hooked into them hopelessly.
Do you feel the quality is still in the industry?
Oh, there are a lot of people in it who really work hard on it. A lot of writers who put a lot of time and effort into it. A lot of talent. But there's a lot of, what do you call it, schlock stuff out there too. And yet, I guess each type appeals to somebody, or they wouldn't be there, right?
That's right. Thank you very much, Mr. Evans, and I hope you have a very good day here today.
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it? Thank you for bothering to interview old Father Time here. I'm still into it. Let me give a plug for the thing. I do an adventure strip, Secret Agent Corrigan it's called. It was begun with a script by Dashiell Hammett, and the hero in it is about twice as old as I am, but he stays young. Dorian Gray.
That is great. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
George Evans, the living legend, here at the Comic Stop in the Willow Grove Mall.
The Comic Book Show will be right back.
For the best selection in mainstream and independent comics, visit the Comic Collection on Bustleton Avenue and Street Road in Feasterville. We have the largest backstock variety in the area.
Line Comics.
The Comic Kingdom, 6118 Ridge Ave in Philadelphia. We're open 11 to 7 Monday through Friday, 10 to 6 on Saturday, and 12 to 4 on Sunday. If you mention this ad, you'll receive 10% off your next comic book purchase. That's the Comic Kingdom, 215-482-9937.
Order a signed copy of Zen Intergalactic Ninja number 0. This best-selling black and white comic is signed by Zen's creator, Steve Stern. Send $14.95 check or money order to All America, 331 North Broad Street, Philadelphia, PA, 19107. This is a limited offer.
This week's Lucky Letter. Dear Comic Book Show, why is it
Wait a
that...
minute. What happened to the sketch? We didn't do the sketch. We're supposed to do the sketch.
We don't have time to do a sketch today, Tony.
We do a sketch every single week, Nikki. I think these people
I
deserve
have
a sketch.
a lucky letter here, and I'm reading it. We do not have time to do a sketch
We do
today.
a sketch every week.
There is no time to do a sketch today.
All right, fine. You read the letter. I have to go somewhere.
Ahem. Dear Comic Book Show, why is it that the new Batman is so dead set against wearing the original Bat costume?
I'm really sorry, guys, but there's not going to be a sketch today.
What?
She doesn't want to do it. We ran out of time. Forget it. I'm really sorry. Can you come back next week?
Lucky letter. It is time to answer the letter. Dear Comic Book Show, my name is Chris. I live in a neighborhood where kids love Marvel Comics, especially Daredevil in his new costume. Oh, you would like that place. I am 14. I love comics, especially Superman. And my question is, when do you think Superman and Doomsday will meet again? And if so, do you think he will meet his fate as in Superman 75? Please try to answer this question. Your friend, Chris, and I can't pronounce your last name. It's like Quigala. Chris? Yes. Doomsday will be back, probably in January, February sometime. I think it was originally scheduled for January, and it was pushed back to February. But either way, this time when Doomsday comes back, Superman will kick him all up and down the street, and he'll beat him. Yeah, come on, he'll beat him. He killed him the first time. This time, he'll lose, and Superman will win. What's he win?
Chris has won lots of stuff. He got a RoboCop vs. Terminator #1 Platinum Edition, a Defiant Genesis, and 2 signed copies of Waterman.
Wunderbar. If you would like to win something cool, send your letter to TCBS Letters, P.O. Box 10035, Philadelphia, PA 19108. Please include your name, address, age, kind of stuff you'd like, and blood type, and all that good stuff.
For the best selection in mainstream and independent comics, visit the Comic Collection on Bustleton Avenue and Street Road in Feasterville. We have the largest backstock variety in the area, reliable subscription service, used and new compact discs, and a full range of comic-related merchandise. Our courteous staff is available to answer all of your questions. Mention this Comic Book Show ad, and first-time customers receive a free issue of Legends of the Dark Knight. That's the Comic Collection in Feasterville for the serious comic book collector. Order a signed copy of Zen Intergalactic Ninja #0. This best-selling black and white comic is signed by Zen's creator, Steve Stern. Send $14.95 check or money order to All America, 331 North Broad Street, Philadelphia, PA, 19107. This is a limited offer. Blazer Studios is proud to offer the limited edition New World Order ash can, New World Order number 1, and a certificate of authenticity signed by creator Daniel Reed. To order, send $10 check or money order to All America, 331 North Broad Street, Philadelphia, PA 19107. Order before they're gone.
The Comic Kingdom, 6118 Ridge Ave in Philadelphia. We're open 11 to 7 Monday through Friday, 10 to 6 on Saturday, and 12 to 4 on Sunday. If you mention this ad, you'll receive 10% off your next comic book purchase. That's the Comic Kingdom, 215-482-9937.
And that's it this week for the Comic Book Show. Tune in next week. We're going to have more movies and cards and games and stuff.
All kinds of things. Comic books like you've never seen them before.
Yeah. Well, we haven't decided what's going to be in the next show, but well, we'll surprise you. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bill Cole Enterprises is the exclusive supplier of comic book preservation supplies to the Comic Book Show. Ask for their products by name. And remember, when you go to your local comic store, say you saw it on the Comic Book Show.
I'm really mantra.
Shouldn't you be like fighting crime or something instead of wasting your time at these fests?
Well, there's no real crime going on here, so I just feel like I have to,
You know you're in Philadelphia, right?